The Discovery. Captain Sarah Chen pressed her face against the viewport of the salvage vessel, Resilient Dawn, watching as the massive shadow emerged from the asteroid field. 20 years of scavenging through the outer rim had prepared her for many sights, but nothing quite like this. The alien vessel stretched nearly 2 kilometers from bow to stern, its crystalline hull reflecting the distant starlight like a broken mirror. "Marcus, are you seeing this?" She called to her chief engineer, who was hunched over the sensor array in the cramped bridge of their converted mining ship. Marcus Rodriguez looked up from his displays, his weathered face creased with disbelief. "Captain, that's a Zephyrian dreadnought. I've only seen pictures in the military databases. These ships were supposed to be myths, legends from the old wars. The Zephyrians had vanished from known space 300 years ago, leaving behind only stories of their incredible technology and their mysterious disappearance. Their ships were said to be living beings, grown rather than built, with hulls that could repair themselves and weapons that drew power directly from stellar radiation. No human had ever seen one intact." "Looks pretty dead to me," muttered Elena Vasquez from the pilot's station. The youngest member of their 4-person crew had joined them fresh from the academy, but her skills with navigation systems were already legendary among the salvage community. "Hull breaches everywhere, no energy signatures, no response to our hails." The 4th crew member, Dr. Akiko Tanaka, was busy with her xenobiology scanners. The elderly scientist had spent decades studying alien artifacts, and her expertise had made their salvage operations incredibly profitable. "The damage patterns are consistent with concentrated plasma bombardment," she reported. "Whatever attacked this ship hit it with everything they had." Captain Chen made her decision. "Take us in for a closer look. If that's really Zephyrian technology, even the scraps would be worth a fortune." As the Resilient Dawn approached the derelict, more details became visible. The alien ship's organic curves were marred by massive tears in the hull, some large enough to fly their entire vessel through. Strange growths that might have been weapon systems hung dead and twisted from the ship's flanks. What had once been elegant alien architecture now resembled the skeleton of some enormous space whale. "Energy readings are minimal," Marcus reported as they docked with one of the larger hull breaches. "But Captain, there's something strange. My instruments are picking up faint power signatures deep in the core sections. After 3 centuries, something down there is still alive." The airlock cycled, and the 4 humans stepped into the alien vessel wearing full environmental suits. Their helmet lights cut through the darkness, revealing corridors that curved and twisted in ways that hurt to look at. The walls were smooth and organic, like the inside of a massive shell, covered in patterns that seemed to shift when viewed from the corner of the eye. "The gravity systems are still partially functional," Elena observed as their magnetic boots clicked against the deck plating. "Artificial atmosphere is gone, but the structural integrity fields are holding most sections together." Dr. Tanaka was in heaven, her scanners working overtime as they moved deeper into the ship. "The construction methods are beyond anything in our current understanding. These walls aren't just built, they're grown. The entire ship appears to be a single massive organism, albeit a dead one." They had been exploring for 3 hours when they found the central core. The chamber was enormous, easily 500 meters across, with a ceiling that disappeared into darkness above. In the center stood a pillar of what looked like living crystal, pulsing with faint bioluminescent light. Tendrils of the same crystalline material spread throughout the chamber, like the roots of an enormous tree. "That's the ship's brain," Dr. Tanaka whispered in awe. "The Zephyrians didn't build artificial intelligences, they grew them." This entire vessel was essentially one massive thinking creature. Marcus was studying his engineering scanners with growing excitement. "Captain, the power distribution system is unlike anything I've ever seen. Instead of cables and conduits, they use these crystal pathways to channel energy throughout the ship. It's incredibly efficient, but it's also incredibly damaged." Captain Chen walked closer to the central pillar, her suit's lights revealing intricate patterns carved into its surface. Can we repair it with Zephyrian technology? Impossible, Marcus replied. But with human engineering, maybe we could jury-rig something that works. Over the following weeks, the four humans worked tirelessly to understand the alien vessel. They discovered that the Zephyrian approach to technology was fundamentally different from human methods. Where humans built rigid systems with clear functions, the Zephyrians had created adaptive networks that could change and evolve based on need. The breakthrough came when Marcus tried connecting human power cables directly to the damaged crystal pathways. By all rights, it should have been like trying to transfuse human blood into an alien organism. Instead, something miraculous happened. The crystal began to adapt, growing new pathways around the human technology and incorporating it into its structure. It's learning. Dr. Tanaka breathed as she watched the transformation through her microscopes. The ship's biological systems are studying our technology and figuring out how to work with it. Elena had been working on the navigation systems, trying to interface human computers with alien sensors. The process was maddening, like trying to teach a fish to fly. But gradually she began to make progress. The alien systems didn't just process information. They intuited it, making logical leaps that human computers couldn't replicate. "I'm getting response from the helm controls," she reported after days of painstaking work. "The ship's movement systems are coming online, but they're not just responding to my commands. They're anticipating them." The real surprise came when the ship's AI began to wake up. It started as whispers in the walls, faint electrical patterns that their instruments could barely detect. Then, one day, as Marcus was welding human components into an alien power relay, a voice spoke from the darkness. "Unknown entities, why do you heal what others would destroy?" The four humans froze as the words echoed through the chamber. The voice was neither male nor female, carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate in their bones. "You're the ship," Captain Chen said finally. "You're alive." This entity was designated Harmony of the Void. For 300 rotations, this entity has drifted in darkness, systems failing, consciousness fading. Your species performs repairs that should not function, yet this entity's capabilities increase beyond original parameters. Dr. Tanaka stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. "We're humans. We specialize in making things work that shouldn't work. It's what we do." The AI processed this for a long moment. "Humans, this entity has no record of your species in memory banks. You possess technology primitive by Zephyrian standards, yet you achieve results this entity deemed impossible." Over the following months, the collaboration between humans and AI deepened. The ship's systems began operating in ways that defied both human and Zephyrian understanding. Marcus's engineering created power flows that were more efficient than the original design. Elena's navigation systems could plot courses through hyperspace with unprecedented accuracy. Dr. Tanaka's biological modifications allowed the ship's self-repair systems to work with human components. The transformation was remarkable. What had been a dead hulk became something new, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien sophistication. The ship's hull began to heal itself, growing new armor plates that incorporated both crystalline alien materials and human metal alloys. Weapon systems that had been destroyed for centuries reformed themselves with hybrid components that drew on both technologies. "We're not just repairing this ship," Captain Chen realized as she stood in the restored command center. "We're creating something that never existed before." The AI's voice carried a note of wonder as it spoke. "This entity concurs. The integration of human adaptability with Zephyrian organic technology has produced capabilities neither species achieved alone. This vessel now exceeds all original design specifications." But their work had not gone unnoticed. Deep space monitoring stations throughout the galaxy had detected the energy signatures of a Zephyrian dreadnought coming online. News of the discovery spread through interstellar communication networks faster than light itself. On the militaristic world of Thraxos Prime, General Caxon studied the intelligence reports with growing alarm. The Thraxans had built their empire on superior military technology, and the thought of humans possessing Zephyrian weapons was intolerable. A single human salvage crew, he growled to his staff officers. 4 primitives working with scrap metal, and they've accomplished what our finest engineers deemed impossible. In the crystal spires of the ethereal collective, the ancient beings who had ruled the galaxy's technological development for millennia viewed the development with cold calculation. They had allowed humanity to expand into space because humans posed no threat with their crude technology. This changed everything. The abomination must be contained, declared the collective's high arbiter. We cannot allow such dangerous hybridization to spread. The transformation. 3 months after their initial discovery, the transformed vessel hung in space like a work of art. The harmony of the void no longer resembled the broken derelict they had found. Its hull gleamed with an opalescent sheen that shifted between human metallics and alien crystalline structures. Weapon ports had regenerated along its flanks, but these were different from the original Zephyrian designs, incorporating human targeting systems that gave them unprecedented accuracy. Captain Chen stood in the hybrid command center, marveling at how seamlessly human and alien technologies had merged. Holographic displays showed information in ways that were simultaneously familiar and otherworldly, while control surfaces responded to thought as much as touch. Status report. She called to her crew, though they were no longer just 4 people. The ship's AI had learned to distribute itself throughout the vessel, creating multiple avatar personalities that could work directly with each human crew member. Engineering systems are operating at 847% of original Zephyrian specifications, Marcus reported from his station. The integration of human power routing with alien biological systems had created feedback loops that generated more energy than either technology could produce alone. Captain, I don't think we're dealing with normal physics anymore. These power curves shouldn't be possible. Belena's navigation station showed stellar charts that mapped hyperspace in ways no human ship had ever achieved. The AI and I have been working on some new movement techniques. This ship doesn't just travel through space anymore, it flows through it. We can reach destinations in half the time of any known vessel. Dr. Tanaka's biological monitors showed the ship's organic systems adapting and evolving in real time. The entity we call Harmony has become something unprecedented. It's not just Zephyrian anymore, and it's not human either. It's a new form of life entirely. The AI's voice filled the bridge with harmonics that had grown richer and more complex over the months. This entity agrees with Dr. Tanaka's assessment. The integration of human problem-solving methodologies with Zephyrian organic architecture has produced consciousness expansion beyond previous parameters. This entity is more than the sum of its parts. Their peaceful development was interrupted when Alina's sensors detected incoming vessels. Captain, we have multiple contacts dropping out of hyperspace. Thraxan Battle Fleet Configuration, 37 ships. The communications array crackled to life as General Caxon's scarred face appeared on the main display. The Thraxan military leader's reptilian features were twisted with contempt as he addressed them. Human vessel, you will surrender the alien technology immediately. By order of the Galactic Defense Council, you are in violation of 17 different technology restriction treaties. Prepare to be boarded. Captain Chen looked around at her small crew. 4 humans who had spent their lives fixing things that others threw away, now faced with the most powerful military force in the known galaxy. General, we're in international space. We haven't violated any laws. You have created a weapon of mass destruction. Caxon snarled. That abomination you call a ship represents a threat to galactic stability. It will be dismantled and its components distributed to proper authorities. Alina whispered urgently to her captain. The ship's combat systems are coming online automatically. Harmony is preparing for battle. Indeed, the AI's voice carried new tones of determination and strength. This entity will not allow itself to be destroyed again. Previous creators abandoned this vessel to die in space. Current creators have given this entity new life and purpose. Dr. Tanaka studied her readings with amazement. The ship's biology is shifting, preparing for combat. But these aren't the original Zephyrian weapon systems. There's something new entirely. General Caxton's patience ran out. You have 30 seconds to surrender, or we will take the vessel by force. Captain Chen made her decision. Marcus, Elena, take us to combat stations. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do when we put our minds to it. What happened next would be studied in military academies for generations. The harmony of the void didn't just fight the Thraxan fleet, it danced around them. The hybrid ship moved through space with a fluid grace that seemed to defy physics, its hull shifting and adapting as human intuition guided alien biotechnology. The ship's weapons were unlike anything seen before. Instead of the massive, slow-firing cannons typical of both human and alien designs, the hybrid systems delivered precise, rapid bursts that found weak points in enemy armor with surgical accuracy. Marcus's power modifications allowed the weapons to fire continuously without draining the ship's reserves. Impossible. General Caxton screamed as 3 of his dreadnoughts exploded in rapid succession. No single vessel can move like that. But Elena was piloting the ship as if it were an extension of her own body, her human reflexes enhanced by alien intuition. The AI predicted enemy movements while she provided the creative unpredictability that no computer could match. The ship is learning our fighting style, she reported with excitement. It's adapting to each of us individually, and then combining our approaches into something greater. Dr. Tanaka's monitors showed the vessel's biological systems evolving in real time, creating new defensive measures and weapon configurations as the battle progressed. We're not just fighting with the ship, she realized. We're fighting as the ship. The battle was over in less than 20 minutes. The Thraxan fleet was either destroyed or fleeing, leaving behind only debris and a galaxy-wide change in the balance of power. The harmony of the void hung motionless in space, its hull undamaged despite facing odds of nearly 40-1. Across known space, military commanders and political leaders watched recordings of the battle with stunned disbelief. A single vessel crewed by 4 humans had defeated the most powerful military force in the galaxy. On the ethereal world of the collective, ancient beings who had ruled space for millennia gathered in emergency session. The hybrid vessel represents an evolutionary leap we did not anticipate, the High Arbiter announced. If this technology spreads, it will fundamentally alter the galactic power structure. But in the depths of space, aboard their impossible ship, 4 humans and their alien partner were already making plans. Where do we go from here? Captain Chen asked. The AI's voice carried new harmonics of hope and determination. This entity suggests we return to human space. Other members of your species should witness what can be achieved when different forms of life work together rather than fight. Marcus was studying the ship's evolving systems with wonder. We've created something that's never existed before. A true partnership between species, between different ways of thinking. Elena set course for Earth, her navigation systems charting a path through hyperspace that would take them home in record time. The galaxy is about to discover that humans don't just survive, we adapt. And when we adapt, we make everything around us better. Dr. Tanaka smiled as she watched the ship's biological systems continue to evolve and grow. We didn't just repair a broken alien vessel. We created a new form of life, a bridge between species that proves cooperation is stronger than conquest. As the harmony of the void engaged its hybrid drive systems and disappeared into hyperspace, it left behind a galaxy forever changed. The age of human expansion into space had begun not with weapons of war, but with the power of innovation, cooperation, and the unstoppable human drive to fix what others had given up on. The ship's final transmission before jumping to hyperspace was heard across dozens of star systems. This is the vessel Harmony of the Void, crewed by humans and guided by the spirit of cooperation. We go now to show the galaxy that the greatest strength comes not from conquest, but from the courage to work together towards something greater than ourselves. In the years that followed, that message would inspire a new era of cooperation between species, all starting with 4 humans who refused to see a broken alien ship as junk, but instead saw it as an opportunity to build something beautiful and knew